episode of the SideQuest podcast. I'm your host, Qcento, and today we're going to be talking about gaming in 2026. 2026 isn't going to save gaming, it's only going to expose it. And what I mean by that is basically everything that developers are doing wrong is going to come to light. I think that people are growing tired of, just waiting for things to happen that don't happen, being fed false promises that don't deliver. And I think that big publishers are going to have to deliver this year to save the reputation of their game. So, we're going to be touching a little bit on that, some of the most anticipated games, talking about gaming fatigue, what we hope for, and to kind of open things up for tonight, guys. If you're joining the chat, thank you very much for returning. If you're a new viewer, thanks for joining the podcast as well. But type W, mid, or L in the chat. Let me know how you feel about gaming in 2026. And what we're going to be doing is starting off with a couple spins for good luck. I stayed up probably till about 1 o'clock in the morning last night playing Kong 3 with my buddy. I was showing him. He went in. He basically was itching for a bonus for probably about 30 minutes, did about 100 spins, finally got the bonus, and the bonus was junk. So I want hopefully shout out to Tapered if you're in the chat. And let's go for it, guys. So again, I think he basically took away all the bad luck that could happen. So the rest is up to me. You know what I mean? So let's get this up here for you guys. Hopefully, everybody had a great New Year's. First thing productive wise that I did for the new year was a fresh reset of my PC. A couple days ago, it was probably episode number 16, I believe it was, of the podcast. I went to share a game and the whole thing crashed. So what I did was I bought an external hard drive on a Boxing Week sale and basically went and backed up all the files onto that. It took like 10 hours, reinstalled everything, reconfigured all my settings across every single program on my whole computer for the entirety of January 1st. So it took a lot of effort, man, but we got it done. And let's have a look here. Okay, we got Kong 3 up on the screen. $1, I think, to start. Turn the music off. Sorry about that, guys. And see, we got $1 spins here. Let's go for it. What we're looking for here are three Kongs. Three Kongs stimulates bonus right away. We play for some pretty big numbers. I've played this game before, so I've gotten all the extra perks on the top row here that we can get to kind of level up the rest of the spin session. Do we get one on like the third or fourth spin of the day? Probably not. No. All right. The fact that it's baiting us this soon, though, is going to say a lot. That's two. Come on, one more shot. Nothing. We're going to be doing some upgrades to the stream too, guys, soon. I'm really excited about it. New camera on the way. We're going to be doing brand new lights. We got the green screen in the works. Like, production is going to be increasing. We've been at this for a couple months now. We want to make every single episode bigger, better in every single way that we can. So, look out for some big things coming for the new year. We're going to be meeting next week. Shout out to the producers and just kind of going over things that we can really, get this podcast to the next level. Talking about some of the bigger guests we're going to be bringing on for the year. Welcome into the chat, Marley. How you doing? So we got. Is he baiting us? No, he's really here. Okay, good. So this is going to be like a mini bonus, maybe like a $10 bonus, but we make back some of the stuff that we lost. So I'm not really worried about that. So far, we're kind of just, you know, hanging in there. No shots? A $200 collect. I told you it was going to be like a $10 thing. Let's get some hype up in the chat, man. That's a way to start the stream. What are we playing tonight, Q? We're going to be playing some Kong 3. I was playing this with my buddy last night, and he was winning a little. He was also losing a little. and I want to see if I can do better. So far, we're doing better. $200 on like one of the first spins of the night. Basically, coming off a pot here, that's probably one of the biggest things you could win off one of those pots. We're talking about gaming in 2026. W, mid, or L in the chat. Let me know what you think gaming is going to be like for the next year. Can you believe we're in 2026 already, man? I'm seeing 10-year anniversary, 50-year anniversary of games, and I think it's ridiculous. Like, I'm like, that just came out. What do you mean 10, 15 years? I'm playing a game right now on my Steam Deck. I'm finding some time to play it. I'm trying to stick to the schedule of playing one game per month right now. So we just got baited by the monkey too. I thought he was going to pop out, but he didn't. The game that I'm playing right now is called Soma, Soma. It's a horror survival game where you basically explore, look for clues, and to kind of give you as far as I know so far without really any major spoilers, you're basically someone with a terminal brain illness or damage to your brain and you don't have much time to live. So you go to some doctor who's going to do some brain scan and he says he can add a bunch of time to your life. Well, it turns out that sort of backfires and now you're in a place where you don't know where you are after the brain scan and you're trying to find your way out of here. There's no power in this place. I keep hearing a bunch of noises and starting to see some weird shit in the shadows, and it's getting kind of spooky. Probably not the game you want to play before bed, but that's what I'm on right now. It's interesting so far. It has something to do with technology, people requiring power to feed their brains. Because I just ran into someone with literally their head plugged into the wall and they were screaming for help, but they were like pretty long gone. It was like the power took over them. I don't know. It was pretty spooky, man. But that's where we're at with Soma so far. And the reason why I even brought that up is because that had a 10-year anniversary article on Steam about it recently. And I think the game looks great for 2015. And that sort of goes and plays into what I'm talking about right now for the state of gaming and, what we really need and want. I have no problem. I have no problem playing older games. 10 years old, it looks amazing on the deck. Probably looks amazing on the PC. Have I ever played Clover Pit? Oh, because you were talking about how the other stream we were going to play Clover Pit and then the stream died. Yeah, so I have been playing it. I intend on trying to play it again today. I think that with the upgrade, not upgrade, with the reset of the PC, we should be good to give it a shot. Everything is running very smooth so far. We need a big win. Patty, I actually hit $205 roughly off one of the monkey pots like 5 minutes ago. Just so you know. I was talking about my buddy Tapered, who would be super pissed if he saw that. So I'm hoping that the producers make this into a YouTube short so I can link it to him every single time that he pisses me off. I just want him to see how much luckier we are than him. Basically, Patty, W, mid, or L? Your expectation. What do you think gaming's going to be like in 2026? Do you have high hopes for that? I have a pretty interesting article here. Basically, I was pulling up a most anticipated games list article for 2026. So we'll rattle off a few of those in a little bit. A couple things that I haven't heard of that are actually piquing my interest. A couple things that I'm looking forward to. Any of you guys playing some slots tonight? Big shout out to Jackpot City for powering, for sponsoring the podcast, making it all possible, man. Calling number 3, let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Ah. If you guys haven't subscribed to the podcast as well, if you're new, you want to stay up to basically, full up to date with all the latest gaming news, trends, complaints, and everything in between, you know where to find it. We do this every single week, Thursday and Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're saying depends on 007. So, would you say that the year is defined by the success of 007 for you? I know you mentioned before that you're a huge 007 fan, so you know a lot about the different games. You probably grew up playing GoldenEye as well. I think basically when your favorite series makes a dud, you start to lose faith in gaming. I would rather a series stop and leave us on a good note, leave us with the nostalgia, leave us wanting more of the good old days than to overstay their welcome. It's the same as if you're an athlete, man. You stay a couple seasons past the end of your career when you should have retired, and that's how you go out. I think that developers need to really call it quits when they're ahead and stop milking something, because you can go back and you can put out merch for that. You can put out like a remastered even, but when you start putting out new chapters of something and sort of tainting the name of what you spent years developing, it's not a good look. Halo. I really hope that Halo can do better. I was watching a video on how Halo basically is all in on AI. So I'm thinking that the next installment of that is going to be a real toss up, man. We see how they use it, but that could just be it. That could be coffin for Halo. I think they're basically one more bad release away from being a laughing stock at this point. You know what I mean? Especially for multiplayer, it should really take off in a bigger way. That's basically one of the staples of PvP gaming was Halo, right? So I got to collect here for 350, not doing great, but we're still rolling through that 200 that we had earlier, so we're up for the sesh right now. Got enough good games in the backlog. I feel that, man. Last time you were in, you mentioned you were playing Kingdom Come. How are things coming along with that game so far? Have you gotten a fair way through it? If so, I know it was up for Game of the Year, but maybe tell me something that I don't know. You know, like a real unfiltered, this is great and this is not so great about it. If there's even anything that you think is not that great. We're due, actually, guys. By the way, we have the pot here. It's pretty full. We're due for like a mini bonus at least. That's two Kongs. Come on, give me that. Nothing. That's like the third or fourth bait that we've had since we started the stream, man. Okay, at least we got him. Left, middle, right. I'll let someone pick. I'm just drinking. I got a soda stream for Christmas, and it's a game changer for the gaming setup. Doesn't have to be that brand specifically, just the concept of being able to make your own damn soda, all in the gaming situation station. You know what I mean? You said right. I was about to choose for you guys because you took so long. All right. Good luck to us. $8. Thanks, Patty. I thought we're getting back to back. Okay, you said right. I'm choosing this one. I'm going mid. Treasure wheel, baby. Let's get a mega off this. If I get a mega, this can pay for my trip to Ireland. I'm thinking about going to Ireland this year, guys. Well, I have $7 towards that trip. Damn it. I haven't been flying since I bought my Steam Deck. So I'm looking forward to the next time I'm cooped up. Actually, I can't even say that. I'm not really looking forward to the next time I'm flying. It's I hate flying. I get so restless, but anyways, at least I'll have the deck. You know what I mean? Haven't found anything with KCD2 that bothers me. It's probably going to overtake Yakuza Pirates for the year for you on your personal list. I guess that year's kind of rolling over into this one. You did start that before the new year, surely. It's only January 3rd. I think what I'm going to be getting into this year, guys, is a big, scary horror game sort of kick. I'm already looking at some of the Amnesia games, and I'm surprised it's a series that I did not take more seriously or even know much about. But recently, I saw, part of the Steam winter sale, and if you dig deep enough, you find some of them. Then obviously, what you do is you go to one of those game key websites like a G2A or an Aniba or something like that, and you look for a better price. And some of these Amnesia games are going for like $3 Canadian. And I'm like, damn, they actually look pretty good. Eerie, creepy. Like, I'm thinking I just get into it. And what I like about that too is they're not too long. I can enjoy them and, just that's what I'm on. Another thing that we're going to be doing tonight, guys, after I finish up here, there's a like a 99.9% chance that I'm going to head over to the personal channel at Qcento or at Qcento01 on Twitch, and I'm going to be streaming kind of some other games. I think that's how we're going to wrap up the Saturday night tonight. So, if you aren't following my personal channel, you want to see some more strategy, card game playing and stuff like that, head over there and check out what's going on. I'm just really trying to chase this bonus, by the way, before we kind of call this quits for now. I suppose I could pause it. It's kind of hard to pause it. We take 6. I do wish it had a running counter here. I still think we're up on the day. The Blood of Dawn Walker. I can't say I know it. Is there something that comes before that? Like, is that the second half title? Collect and $3. Also, while we're here, somebody want to tell me the free game of the week on Epic? I don't think I was able to log in this week. We got another little bonus here. We went mid last time. I'm thinking left. Kong Windspin. I will take it. It's 8. This bonus better be the best thing that I've ever seen. Collect in a wind stepper with nothing to collect in wind step. Lonely Kong in the middle. At least we're hitting on the basket tonight. All right, I'm going to give it 10 more. If we don't hit a Kong, then we're just going to go on to the next part here. I want to show you guys some cool stuff. It's a new game by ex-CDPR devs who made their own studio, Rebel Wolves. This is starting to ring a bell. Okay, I think we did 3. Let's just say we did 3. I got to give myself like the final 10 because otherwise I'll just be sitting here clicking until it happens. That's basically how it goes, right? We're still not really down, by the way. We're just doing all right here. The fact that we hit a major collect though is pretty sweet. Collect on the wheel, we take those. Get ready for a mystery prize, guys. Right, dead center. Dude looks like the unseen elder in the trailer from The Witcher. Nice. That's promising. You think CDPR would pull a Nintendo on him? I'm liking this so far. We got the quick $12 plus the empty pot here. I'm gonna go back to the middle. I'm just kind of work my way back and forth. Super collect on a what? We have 950 here. 11, 12. Is it just gonna collect the 12? Call it a day? I guess so. Decent. That was like $20 kind of right away. It keeps us going. I'm gonna say five more. Okay. Come on, three more. Three more. I might have to come back to this tonight though. If I don't hit a Kong, I'm gonna be kind of pissed off. So we're gonna have to come back until it happens. Like that's one, two more. Last one, last one. Okay. One for you guys. One for my cat. One for jackpot. One for the Gold Studios. One for the day ones. One for my mom. One for my dad. We're never gonna hit this, dude. All right, all right, all right. Wait, one for my sister. All right, bro. Jeez. We tried, we tried, we tried. Yeah, something I want to get into here. I thought it was pretty cool. Basically, some of the top anticipated games for 2026 brought to you by BBC's Top Gear, believe it or not, who wrote the article. So they have a really cool one that I never thought of. Something that I never heard of that I thought you guys might want to check out. If you're into racing games, you like car games, this one looks hyper realistic. It's called Ride 6. It's out February 12th. And kind of the little summary here is that you get a massive roster of 250 plus bikes with the kind of oh, here we go. Some long word festival concept that Forza Horizon's been getting away with for years. So basically, a huge selection of bikes. Get to be able to ride a bunch of probably real model bikes because they say it's leaning on sort of the Forza thing, and the racing looks incredible. The picture that I get here in the article is basically like a fall time map. So you got like leaves and that perfect like orangey yellow, and just people leaning hard on the bikes going nearly sideways. So I'm really excited about that actually. Again, it's been a while since I found a good racing game that was like a serious good racing game, not like a Mario Kart one where it's more of like a family game, you know. So having something like that's pretty cool. The fact that it's bikes, I think, is a good change of pace. I think bikes kind of mechanically add a little bit more to the gameplay than a car. Cars just kind of feel solid, locked to the ground. So bikes, you kind of have like that tilt factor going on. I think it's going to be pretty sweet. And next up here, Reanimal, out February 13th. This is sort of like a spooky idea. Basically, kind of like Little Nightmares. If you guys have played Little Nightmares, I've played the first one and the second one. Basically, a game where you stealth and it's a platform exploration sort of thing. And it's a little bit spooky, but it's animated, so it's not overly spooky. But Reanimal is the game there. So play as a brother and sister fleeing a very poorly lit island where ghastly things lurk, saving your friends along the way. So I think that that's going to be somewhat promising if you're into that genre, more of a slower pace, stealth focused, atmospheric type of game. You have Reanimal. Resident Evil Requiem out 27th of February. I hope I don't have a podcast that night. If it's a Saturday or a Thursday, well, maybe we can boot it up. But anyways, you know what I'm gonna be doing. I'm waiting for this game like you wouldn't believe. It's on a Friday night, so I can no life at the Friday night. You guys will not be able to find me on the 27th. Requiem's coming out. I don't have to say a whole lot about it. It's another Resident Evil installment. They always deliver. I can't think of the last Resident Evil game that didn't deliver. I think maybe if you want to count that spin off game that you got for free when you bought Village, the multiplayer one that they tried, then they sort of took off the Steam store. That's probably the last real big flop that they put out. But usually, Resident Evil is a heavy hitter franchise and they do not disappoint. Their graphics engine's great. The games are well optimized. The stories are amazing. There's grotesque, nasty monsters, man. They're actually genuinely scary if they want to be. Like Resident Evil 7 was actually scary at times. Village had some crazy shit like that basement baby crying. You know what I'm talking about if you played it. The elevator thing, you got to run to that shit quick. So I'm really excited about Resident Evil 7. I think what I'm going to do is pray that my PC runs it, try to stream that, kind of no life a little bit, see if I can get all the trophies for that. I think if there's a game I'm going to grind this year as far as like a single player, campaign game, it's going to be this one here, just trying to go get the achievements for that. So again, next one here, Patty was talking about it, 007 First Light. That's out on the 27th of March. So, late spring, I guess early spring, you can consider it, right? We're going to be getting 007, so we're going to find out pretty quick if they're going to deliver on it. And, the name's James Bond. James Bond is pretty much the summary for this one. Pretty straightforward. Another 007 installment. I don't think, based off the picture that I see, it's going to disappoint. Like, the artwork looks really solid. So I'm super stoked on that. And I'll show you guys this here for a couple minutes as well. Whoops. Kind of see what I'm poking at here. So from the top, we've got, here's Ride 6, looks pretty solid. Reanimal looks solid as well. Requiem with Leon's going to be incredible. First Light, this game looks pretty damn good graphically. I'm sure it's going to tell an interesting story. I'm just hoping that mechanically it delivers. I think if, there's a way that they're going to flop, it's going to be mechanically. Next one here is going to be Fable. It's been a while since we've had any sort of real Fable installment. This looks incredible. Like, look at the world building here. I think that's obviously, it got pushed back to May. I guess you would know first, guys. If you're hearing it here first, First Light got pushed back to May. I 100% believe this guy because he's a fanatic for 007, so we'll take that. Fable looks amazing, man. You know what? I'm starting to see kind of like the old Xbox coming back and really doing some big things. You know what I mean? Like, we have Fable getting another sequel. We have Forza going to be the next one here. Kind of looking back, it's cool. Like, it's cool. We've grown up so much in the last, like, 20, how long has it been? Probably close to 25 years since some of the first installments of these came out, right? So that's quite a long time. I'm really curious to see what they're saying about the new Forza, right? So, not a whole lot. Like, literally nothing. Just gas. But Forza Horizon 6 is going to be the newest Forza. So, super cool stuff. Halo Campaign Evolved. That's another one. Xbox really going for it. They're like, you know what? We don't have to put up consoles anymore, so maybe we just focus on putting out good games. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Xbox hasn't done shit other than buy developers since the 360. You're right. You're not wrong at all. And now they're just like, yeah, forget about a console, man. I'm hoping that they just go back to, like, just trying to pump out better games and focus a little bit less on the console wars. They've already got Microsoft and all the PCs in the world, so, that's cool. Get some good games for us, man. Again, Halo has to deliver. Otherwise, I'm very concerned about the future of the franchise. You know, I'm definitely going to try it out, right? However, I'll probably just get a pass membership for a month or something like that and really try it out instead of paying full price for it and maybe regretting it afterwards. So there's that. Marvel's Wolverine is another one that's going to be on the list here. So, um, curious to see when that will drop. I'm not really crazy on Marvel games in general. I liked the. I feel like I just don't play enough of them. That's probably it. The last one I got into was Marvel Snap, which is a spin off card game, competitive card game, PvP. So I wouldn't really put that in the same category. But I remember when I was little, we had the X-Men game for Sega, and it was one of the best games that I've ever played for that console, and probably the best Marvel game that I ever played, honestly. Like, that game was insane, and you can co-op it too. Like, so, I'd be Cyclops, my sister would be Nightcrawler, and we just, basically co-op a game on a Sega is insane. But that one was killer. As far as like a Wolverine game where he's like the forefront of the game, I can't really think of anything. But again, I'm ignorant because I don't play Marvel games that much. But I could imagine that being pretty cool. I would imagine it also being more of a hack and slash kind of game, you know, because he's got the big old claws. Like, what else are you gonna do, right? You just tear faces, dude. You know, like he's got it all, so might as well. Um, Next one here, another racing game. Jeez, Screamer. Back in the '90s, racing games were a simpler beast. So it's going to be basically a just a good old fashioned racing game. Okay. And then we have to kind of round out the list here, the ones from the article. Thick as Thieves, single player game. Thick as Thieves. I'm not really getting a whole lot from this. It looks a little stealthy from the picture. It's really hard to say. When I read the title, Thick as Thieves, I'm thinking that there's some sneaking going on there. So, you know, could be, should be. But I thought that was pretty sweet. But yeah, man, I'm hoping that it's a banger. We're going to go back into some slots here. I want to see if we can get that Kong. Chase the Kong, man. Chase the Kong. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. And if you're new to the podcast, don't forget to subscribe. We're actually almost at 100 subs for a brand new channel. So we're doing pretty good in the first month and a half of the show. I think we could definitely crank things up a little bit for the new year. So, new subs in the chat on YouTube would be amazing. And don't forget the Twitch as well, because it looks like, most of you guys are only sticking to the YouTube. Support on both channels goes a long way for the growth, man, for sure. Session expired. I don't know if they're going to dox me, so I'm going to close it for a sec. Sometimes it asks me to put in like my password. We let it sit for too long. That's not the right. There we go. All right, man. If it wants to, we are so back, Chad. What the hell? We're not so back, Chad. Don't worry, I can fix it. I can fix it. One of the reasons why this happens is because I find there's a bug and it's jackpot. But when it regarding location services, like it needs to know where you are so that you can play. And it's one of those things where the notification services like time out, then you have to reinitialize it. Anyways, it's fixed. I tried a test spin, we lost. We did not win a cent. So let's keep it going here. Predictions in the chat. How long you think it's going to be before we hit a Kong? Tell me how many spins. If you're right 100%, like if you guess the exact number from now to Kong, like during this live stream, I'll buy you any game you want. I'll e-transfer that right after the stream. 50? You're gonna make me hang in there for 50 spins, dude? Now someone's got to count. It's up to you now. That's two. I'm really hoping I don't have to pay you, honestly. That's what happens when I talk shit, right? So we got to collect on that for what, $3? Yeah. I did ask. It's just part of the game, man. It's like I'm playing stakes here, but I'm also playing side bets, you know? So it makes it a little more interesting. 360. Double Kong, man, they want us to have it. They don't want you to get paid. What I might do is watch back the VOD and count, but that's doing a lot. I stopped counting right now. That's 10? Okay. It seems like a lot of games are getting delayed this year, doesn't it? Do you think it's because developers are getting kind of shook that if they don't deliver, it's over? That's what I think it is, at least. Do you think that they're starting to realize that just overworking and cramming, deadlines in unrealistic time frames is not healthy for the employees and for the reputation of the studio? And they're finally starting to listen. Like, this could be, again, the start of something really good. We'll have to see, though. But I find for now, man, I remember back in the day, the last pre-order that I can think of, oh, it has been a while, but I used to pre-order games all the time. I think Resident Evil Revelations 2 did one of my favorite sort of pre-orders that you could ever do. It was like annoying, but it wasn't annoying. So what they did was they let you pre-order it, and then you were able to download parts of it early and play it earlier than everybody, but they broke it up into fractions. So I remember whether it was 2 weeks or a 4 week thing. I think it was probably a 2 week thing where they let you get through basically, and then play half the game essentially, go back. I think it might have been four. They did that. It was like a long delayed. Anyways, what that opened up for me was time to like savor and enjoy the game, and it gave me something to look forward to, and I really enjoyed that game as well. So like that's kind of some of the cool stuff that you could do with the pre-orders, and I feel like I haven't really been incentivized to do that anymore because it's not like Steam is going to sell out of games. It's not like if you get the game at the store, there's anything else that comes with it anymore, you know? So, what's the incentive to pre order, especially if you're buying a physical copy of a game that you can't return on the basis of it not being very good, right? Early access is always a nice thing if you pre order, but I definitely think there should be something tangible or something at least, um, to commemorate the time, essentially. Like, some kind of in-game skin, some kind of extra little mission or two, some kind of, you know what I mean? Something just like a little nice. A little extra mission or two might not be fair in the long term because then you're taking away from players that are, you know, wanting to go back and discover that years later. So that might be like a bit of FOMO. But I definitely think that, just having something to kind of be a token of the fact that you got the game early, right? Wouldn't hurt. So we're at 40 spins and counting, right? He's keeping a good tally on this. Yo, Killa, welcome into the chat, man. We're just talking about gaming for 2026. W, mid, or L? What are your expectations for the year, man? We also have a bet going on the side where if I roll a Kong in exactly 50 spins, then I have to buy Patty any single game that he wants, even AAA. And right now we're almost at 50. I've never been so happy to not hit a bonus in my life, bro. You can't stand the skin thing, just more of a money grab. If it's a skin in a game that's a PvP game or has an online community and it's like a founder skin and you're getting it because you invested early and it has no advantage other than just looking cool, then I don't think that that's really a bad thing. But if it has a damage, like for example, I said damage because Call of Duty does this all the time. If it's a blueprint or something to a weapon that's OP, etc., 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 or just like, whatever, that can be bad. Anyways, Patty lost the bet, so I don't have to buy him a AAA game. So at least we're up on that. Let's do a few more spins here for the Kong. But yeah, just kind of thinking about that's not bad. I mean, we take four. Just thinking about the pre-orders, man. Like, the incentives are one thing. Another reason why I haven't really been down to do all the pre-order stuff is because the trust isn't there the way that it used to be. I just used to hear these franchise names and say, man, I know you're going to deliver and I'm not that worried about it. And for the couple times that I was iffy and I didn't pre-order, that's fine. Or, I pre-ordered, got the bonus stuff, whatever. And the game was mid, well, lesson learned, maybe I can sell the game. You know what I mean? Uh, I find it's definitely a lot harder now to resell physical games if they're not strictly like a Nintendo title or a vintage title because it doesn't seem like people really want to buy like an Xbox or a PlayStation disc anymore, but they have no problem buying a Switch cart or like a vintage game. So yeah, the buying reselling, it's getting more difficult now to kind of feel secure in that, at least from my standpoint here. Like, and that's going back to one of the early episodes of the stream, probably like episode 3 or 4, man. We are talking about physical versus digital, how things were kind of moving and stuff like that. And, you know, I think it all kind of goes together here. We got a win step. That's good too, right? We want that in there. It works. I think it takes it. Yeah. Status collectible stuff. I got the mega. No. 7 bucks plus. I mean, there's a lot on the board here too, right, guys? We were so due for a Kong, by the way. 2050. Okay. 2050. That's the same year as the next GTA release after 6. This is going to explode soon, by the way. So we're going to get one here, and I'm hoping that we also get a Konger, right? We get a Kong plus this. Boom, boom. I feel like if a collect lands on a Kong, it should collect the Kong and then come back and like stack them on the side. And then like if you get like 5 of them, it should work instead of 3. Just saying. Maybe for Kong 4, you could try that. Yo. Oh, I accidentally clicked it before I could read. Oh, I wish I. If I would have chose the one on the left, it would have got us a bonus probably. So middle hits. I think it's just going to be the one that hits, right? It doesn't look like I'm seeing really big numbers. Sometimes in the background, I'm seeing like $10 and stuff like that. This could be a double collect though, if that's how it works. No. You would think that because that went and then we got this after, it would be like both of them, but just a wild and a tiger. By the way, I was thinking I don't have TikTok personally or for the Qcento brand, but I was looking at the SideQuest TikTok, and you guys are going wild in the comments on that. So appreciate you guys being active on TikTok. You know what I mean? Love to see the same sort of thing on YouTube, man. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast as well, if you're watching on Twitch right now, make sure to hop on the YouTube, vice versa. But it seems like TikTok is very vocal, man. So that's really cool to see, kind of starting things off. Dude, we just did like another 75, 80 spins without any sort of luck here on this. I don't know if we're hitting tonight. If we are, it's going to be the biggest thing ever. I actually haven't lost a lot of money though, which is the crazy part about it. Collect on $3. But yeah, summary for the year is optimism because I know at this point what it looks like is studios are just getting basically exposed and realizing that they have to do better. And, we're seeing delays in games. We're seeing, sequels to things that we've been waiting for come out. Sequels come out sooner than we expected, like Halo for things, in the works, which is a good sign. It's like people, developers wanting to kind of make up for the mistakes that they've sort of put out in the last few years. So I see the redemption arc of gaming potentially coming, and it's like a long waited thing, man. I was starting to feel pretty dry about it. Like I was kind of worried about just recycling the same old games, but again, hoping for a better future. I don't think it's some New Year's resolution chat that I'm on. It's just a good wavelength. I just feel like good things are coming for gaming. So, 2025, there were a few good releases. I'm not going to knock that. I just think that, again, we still had some space to go. So, we're 1 or 2 years away from, I think, really kind of kickstarting a new like chapter in gaming. Hopefully, or I just retire, find a new gig. No, I couldn't. What I would do if games just did not do what they were supposed to, and I just couldn't be serious about it, I would really still be looking for genres that I'm, happy with. But I'd probably go back and deep dive a lot of the games that came out over the last 10 years and, comb those. There's probably so many good ones I haven't played. I was talking earlier tonight about Amnesia, right? The horror genre, sort of a slower pace, exploration, creepy vibes, like that kind of thing. That's what I need, just to kind of go back and do that. I'm going to do a little bit of that right now, but, I'm obviously going to try to put a lot of focus into playing some new games over the course of the year. So you're pushing 100 spins. This board is dead for now. When do we give up? There's no way I can give up before Call of Duty, right? They baited this again. It's a weird balancing act because all the price hikes with hardware due to the AI chip stuff going on. All the price hikes with the games too, man. Like I told you, I'm gonna rag on this until they stop it. But 114.99 was the price of a couple games at the Walmart the last time I was there. I thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever, bro. Typical price for a game, if it's like a Switch port to a Switch 2, actually, no, like Switch port and Switch 2s are like $100. PS5 games are 89 to 94.99. Same with Xbox. Like that's kind of the pricing. But then some Switch 2 games are into like the 115, 114. Not to mention a deluxe, man. If we're getting into deluxe, it's even worse. Give me the one that basically feeds me a Kong. Well, it says Kong. That's a plus. Maybe not the Kong I'm looking for, but this does not count as a bonus for me. Oh, shoot. Watch. Please give me a mega. Ah, man, I would have been so rude to Patty if we got a mega on that after he told us to hop out. 20's 20, right? Game is game. That's going to keep us in there a bit longer. A bit of sustain going on, man. We'll take it. We'll take it. Give me some. Yes, sir. We take that. Back in. Let's go. Keep going. Yes, sir. Keep it going. Ah, two, three. I mean, it's like $6 or something. Eight. Okay. We are so baited. When do we stop though? Like, I feel like if look, I'm not losing money. I'm watching the credits closely at the bottom. Like, we are not losing, and we're just kind of yo-yoing with the same 40, $50. It's like up, down, up, down. Come on, please, please. Baited again. It's when they slow roll the last one and it does not hit. It gets me every single time, man. I'll give you an example of how frustrating that is. So it's comparable to what I did this afternoon. I got a dono and a request to build a certain deck in the card game that I was playing and record a video on it. So you know me, I go and do that, right? And I'm working on it. I started working on this one yesterday and I couldn't get the idea to work because it was pretty outrageous. Like it was hard to get all these things to work at one time. So, we tried. 3 hours yesterday go down the drain probably of just kind of messing around with this and it not working. I got pretty frustrated, turned it off, came back to it today. Today, I come back to it, I finally find something that's starting to work, and then I go to record it, and I spend maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours recording that session. And then I go to edit that video after I'm thinking, like, this is good enough to publish the video on, we'll get it done. And I look and see that everything's muted. All my channels are muted. And basically, what happened was when I reset my PC, my Streamlabs settings didn't port properly, even though I dragged the files in off the backup. Anyways, long story short, no audio in the whole damn video. And I went to go re-record it, and then I started losing. And I started playing like crap, and then I was pissed off because I'm like, now is the deck bad? And so then I got into editing it again, and then I realized, okay, now it's almost time for the stream, for the pod, so we got to just kind of pivot towards that. And so I never got it done. So that's probably why I decided, hey, after this podcast, we're going to hop back on, maybe do another stream. Like I said, 99% sure that I'm going to be doing that after this. And we're going to be playing some Gwent. And it's going to be on the Qcento channel, YouTube, and Twitch. Probably a multi-stream. I might give myself a little bit of time to eat in between that. We'll see. But I'm going to be doing that for a bit. Because I want to get this video out of the way, man. It's been haunting me. And, from a creator content perspective, like, it's a real block. And it's making me not just want to do anything. So we got to get over that block. We got to move on to the next thing. So that's how you do it, man. You face it head on, you get it done. Done. Right? Just like this Kong. It's a block, man. We got to get it done. Con 1 and 2. All right, we said five more. I'm wondering if when session expired, it basically restarted our whole luck scheme on that. I don't think it works like that. I think it's always just random, but it does feel like low key. You know what I mean? Fuck's sakes. Bro, collect would be all right. We take those. Nope. So we talked about, some of the games that were, I read an article earlier today, saw some games that were anticipated. I agree with a few of those, definitely. I know my biggest one for the year that I'm looking forward to would be Resident Evil, right? Like, again, a year that Resident Evil comes out for me, at least I know I'm beating at least one game that year, and it's going to be an amazing game for me. I know Patty's really looking forward to 007. What game are you looking forward to? Everybody else in the chat, in the comments, if you're watching this after the fact, let me know the game that you're looking forward to the most and why, right? Maybe it's something that I should take a look at as well. I like RPGs, I like PvPs, I like, card games, I like crafting games. I'm pretty open minded here. Right now, I'm into survival horror type stuff. So let me know any sort of recommendations that I can add to the log for the year. Can we get a Kong here, please? That's another bait. Can you imagine if we just would have took that 200 on like the third spin of the night for this and just left it? We're kind of yo-yoing. I'm not losing money, but I'm just saying we'd save a lot of time. We'd save a lot of time. It's kind of like playing coming from me as a fan, it's kind of like would I play Apex Legends for a whole night and get no RP? I don't climb at all. It's a waste of time. We're not climbing. $12, okay. I mean, it's going to keep us in here. Okay, two more, and I'm turning this off for a bit. I'm getting fed up with this. Last one. Wait, why is it counting down to drops? Oh, that's for the overall casino. Last one. Another one for my cat. All right, it's not gonna happen. Damn it. Ah. Speaking of Apex Legends, I did climb a little bit earlier today. I'm close to Diamond now. We just need to get through the old Plat 1 shenanigans, and we're on to Diamond. So, looking forward to that. Not like anything's going to really change except more tilt, but at least I got a cool little badge after the season. That's basically it, right? It'd be cool to get Masters, man. I don't know if I can hit it in 40 days. I think I can hit it. I definitely think I'm capable of hitting it. I think the way that this season is right now is really frustrating. Like you have to live into like a top three, and then you have to get actual KP. Like it's basically placement plus skill. They found a balance that really makes you play the long game. So if you think you're just going to go in there and pub stomp, it's not going to happen the way that you want it to, and it can be frustrating. So games are drawn out. They're a little bit slower. They get kind of boring. I find myself playing like idle games like Maple Story on my phone or whatever during the looting phase of the game, because sometimes you're kidded and you're just sitting there, okay, where's the first circle going, like what's gonna happen, like, you know what I mean, because you know once you move around everyone's coming after you. So again, I want to show you guys a cool game. I picked up a cool game. I've been playing this one a lot on the Steam Deck. I've been playing it for a couple hours, and you know, it does kind of relate to the stream in general, right? We're doing slots. It's called Clover Pit. I tried to play it the other night, didn't go so well, but I definitely think it'll work today once we reset my PC. So fingers crossed. It's not a really graphic intensive game, and I think that's one of the things that really kind of sets it apart, man. It's like I was talking about, you know, the same thing. Like, you don't have to have the best graphics in order for your game to be very good. This game is very simple. You play slots. If you don't win, you die. It has like a pixel sort of smeared graphic. I don't know what to call it. It's kind of like an in between. It reminds me of something that came out for like the original Xbox, or like a PlayStation 1 graphic almost. Like, it's not, they're definitely not going for that as like, you know, the big moneymaker here. And game looks great. I'm going to have to mute it. So, you know, for the podcast format, it just makes more sense. But me too. I'm really glad the old uh, the old reset did what it was supposed to. All right, so here we go, guys. Clover Pit, screens up. We did not crash. Let's freaking go, man. Okay. So obviously I was in the middle of a run. I don't remember where I took off, but we're gonna just start a new run for you guys here. We're gonna play. Runs are pretty short, so we could definitely probably do a full run before I die on the stream tonight, which makes a lot of sense here. So let me show you something, right? I've only played this game on the deck, so it feels a little different playing it on mouse and key. But we've got our symbols on the side here, basically the chance of hitting them, you know, what the multis are. Slot machine here, pretty straightforward. When we get charms, they sit on the table. Like, these will be where our upgrades go. I figured out after a couple runs where if we buy too many charms and we want to store one away, we can put it in the box so we can basically unequip it. Um, every time we do a run of slots, we also get tickets. So it's pretty cool. You can either basically do a slot that gives you less tickets but more spins, or do a slot that gives you, you know, more tickets and less spins. And you take the tickets after the run and you, yeah, my sense is really high, and you put them in the Lucky Charms bins here, and you buy what you need, right? So we start off the run with two. We have it here. And when we finish and we get our money, we put it in this machine here, little ATM. We got 3 rounds to make the $75, or we fall through the hole. Pretty straightforward. And we just never stop falling. We're dead. GG's. And if we put in money in the machine, right, between runs, we have 3 rounds, we'll get interest. So interest spits out here after every single time. It's funny because I thought I beat the game. I did one of the runs and I'm like, holy crap, the key opened. And I was really excited about that, right? Key opened and I was like, I'm going to get out of here because here's the door. And then I found out that the key does not open the freaking door. It opens this. So that's what I got. I got one of these drawers open. And you know what the best part about it was? It was empty. Quite literally empty. What I don't know, what I haven't done, is I haven't investigated whether you could take charms and put them in that bin and keep them for next run or something like that. I don't know how it works, but we can maybe try it later. Anyways, let's get it started. We'll kind of show you what it do. Again, I'm no expert at this. Kind of like the first time playing it. Whenever 3+ patterns trigger during a spin, you earn money equal to your current interest. 3+ patterns trigger during a spin, you earn money equal to your. I mean, that sounds good. It sounds good. It's cheap. Like, it could be good for early game. Luck +5 for the current spin. Discard after 12 activations, 12 left. We can kind of milk it early on, play like the long game. What I like to do, you know, kind of based on the few runs that I've done, is I start off with less spins and more tickets, and we try to buy up the shop and try to find some rare, you know, things to help us out when it really matters. Because obviously right now the ante's pretty low. So let's just see where it brings us here. And a lot of them you have to equip with this button here. Some of them aren't automatic. You have to click them in. We don't have any of those right now, so we just go for it. And it's like an old school slot machine. You know what I mean about like how graphics are not the most important thing? So that was a terrible, terrible turn. I mean, we're not getting anywhere quick here. We obviously need a bit more money to get through it. Um, should I buy something else? Plus 2 spins per round ongoing is insane work. I wish I could actually, I wish I would have held on. That's all right. This is when you unlock things. I don't know if you have to claim them as they happen for them to appear, but obviously we've been doing things here, so we're getting through it. I've got nearly a third of all the collectibles in this game, basically possible trinkets and stuff like that. So let's go back into it here. What I should be doing though is I should be putting a bit more in here to get some more interest, right? And then we'll just go back in, take another 3 spin. I'm hoping we can get it this way. This might be a very short run, but we'll probably have to double up and do another one in that case. Nothing. This is not looking so hot, man. Okay, good. Good. The pepper kicked in. We got more luck here. That's what we need. That's what we need. That's what we need. 22 on that. We take those. We needed that so bad. We're actually going to hit, I think, at this point. Just to make sure, though, I have 1 round left, Kate. I'm thinking because of where we're at right now, it's not really time to play around. I should probably take the 7 spins. You saw roach? Like a roach, a cockroach? Or roach from The Witcher? I want this. Plus, look at this. So I'm assuming this is going to turn him into a 9-piece. Yes. So let's take it. We get 9 spins because obviously the money does carry over between rounds, right? So we want to obviously take some with us too. I just wanted a few things to get us started. I think 3 for the first round's pretty good. I might sell off. Well, one of them is going to expire, and I might sell off one of them depending on how they go later, or just put it in a bin, see what happens with it. But okay, nothing to equip. I have to just keep checking just in case. So even if they don't hit, man, we got an extra 2 spins per round. We could afford a couple dead spins now. Before it hurt a lot more. This is crushing me. Give me some luck here. We don't need a whole lot. We just need to get through this, man. Like I think one more little hit, we should be okay. Nice. That'll be enough, right? Yeah, we're good. It's a lot smoother to play on Steam, or on Steam, on the Steam Deck. I don't really play a whole lot of games with my keyboard. How about on the deadline? Yes, sir. So we gotta hit 200 this time around, so we're cool with that. But when I do, it's like it's a whole pain. Like that's what I don't like. I mean, it's I find on controller it's more consistent to have your sense set up because every game sort of feels similar, but the difference between games on a mouse is incredible. Like, I feel like I have to restructure my whole setup when I play any game. I'm gonna go all in. Triple the value of the sevens could be huge for ongoing. Gain 1 free restock every deadline to a random lucky charm you have equipped. We get free. A restock is basically the shop reset if we don't like the pulls there. Restore all charges. That's not really a big deal. I don't think we took any or have any. I think we tripled the value of sevens, honestly. I've not heard of the at all. 20% at okay. 15% to have a repetition modifier. 15%, that's like 1 in 7, right? 1 in 7, 1 in, yeah, something like that. Make space for 2 more lucky charms. I think we'd play that. We can't afford it, but I think we save for that because obviously I think right now you get maxed at 4 or 5. So, oh, 3 out of 7. Okay, so being able to have 9 is massive. Since I get more spins, I want to play for the charms at this point. We need to really get these multis going, right? It's habit just clicking this. You don't have to click it. That was really shit. Oh man, okay. 2 rounds left. Listen, I'm gonna take these two, and then I'm gonna go and basically I'm taking I don't even know. Like, okay, do I need something that's gonna help me right now make money and just come back to this later? I think so. I gotta see the money coming in. It's not nearly enough. Take it +5. We're getting that multi, but it's not. They're not hitting triples, so it doesn't do anything. Okay, what are we at? Let's get some interest on this. We need like a little bit of put in the slots here. So we have 1 round left. We got to make 100. We're going to die, basically. Uh, I can't even panic spend either. We're out. That's basically it. It's telling me the rarity of things. Where does it show you on them though? Oh, at the bottom. Okay. So legendary is red. Rare is okay. I'll use that going forward. I actually didn't notice that pepper there. Might help. I'm just gonna go for the 9 spins and pray that we get like $100, man. This run's not going too hot. Normally by now I would have had enough. Like I would have had probably like 200 into the next run, and then I deliberately not pay down the balance so that it doesn't obviously take me out early. I want to maximize the spins. This time around, we're scratching the surface. Like we were just trying to get there. Okay. I guess you guys get to see what it looks like when you die. Yeah, it's happening. Right? Yeah. So we got like 131 out of 200. And then I always just kind of get pissed off because this part just keeps going. It's like 10 seconds of shaming you. Cool. It's cool though. Like I like how you had the seeds, and then you can kind of show people like what your run was like. See if they could do better than you. Like it's a solid roguelike with a slot machine. Again, next time. But that was Clover Pit, guys. That was Clover Pit, a game that came out late September of 2025. And it shows me, at least, that you don't need to have the best graphics to have a good game. I think the play loop on that game keeps bringing me back. You don't play it a crazy long amount of time at once. For me, at least, I usually do like 2 runs worth, get frustrated, turn it off for a bit. But that's awesome still. I don't feel like I have to sit there and grind it necessarily. It's something I just keep coming back to. And there is actually a I got a trophy on Steam for using the toilet in the corner of the prison cell. So if you guys do pick up the game, make sure to use the toilet in the corner because you will get a Steam achievement. So pretty cool, man. What'd you think of that game, guys? It's better than Kong. Still not hitting the bonus on Kong. Speaking of which, I'm gonna boot it back up here in a minute, but okay, we're getting back to it. Hopping back into the slots, man. Trying to see if we can get a Kong bonus by the end of the night here. And So we're talking about gaming tonight in 2026. I'm pretty optimistic. I know some of you guys are looking forward to a couple of games you mentioned. We talked about some of the games that I was reading about coming out soon and in the works. Overall, pretty optimistic. What's one gaming trend that you want to see in 2026? So what's one thing you don't want to continue this year? I want to get some more input on that. I love hearing different perspectives about it. Again, just kind of riffing back and forth with you guys on that. So we got Kong 3 for the last time here tonight. See if we can get the big payout. I'm itching, man. Why is it always the game bugged? And guess what it was due to? Location services. That's all right. We'll just lock it back in a bit. 404 not found, eh? That's not an issue on my end. Logging out, logging back in here on Jackpot. Kong chasing 2026. They don't want to see us win. No, they really don't, man. It's not booting up. It's all good, man. Um, you know, we definitely had our take tonight. I don't know if the slots were really hitting the way that we wanted them to on that game. So, we'll save it for the next one, and it's completely fine by me. Again, really hopeful for gaming this year. Things that are on my playlist right now. I'm playing the Soma, a horror sort of game that's been out for about 10 years now, but I just got around to it recently. It was on a really deep sale from like $40 down to $1.50 or something like that. I picked it up. Do not regret it. It's doing really well so far. Atmospheric, eerie, actually kind of fun. You can pretty much open every single drawer and pantry and everything by clicking the trigger and then moving the stick. So it feels like you're actually pulling. And if you're on keyboard mouse, then you'd be pulling with the mouse. Like it's pretty solid. You're not just pressing one button tap to open stuff. So it's very interactive. It feels like you're really in the room, and it does really good storytelling in that way too. Just like bringing you into the mix. And there's a lot of stuff to read. They put a lot of effort into like if there's a book in the game, making sure that the book has like relevant text. It's not just like, you know, scribbles to look like it's a decoration in the room. Like everything's interactable. So really big respect for a game that does that sort of thing. Attention to detail. I got my little Idler game, Maple Story still going strong. Got my Gwent I'm playing. We got Clover Pit as far as the roguelikes are going. That's kind of one of the ones that I'm going to be sort of logging in every other day and just kind of working on. So far, we're only a few days into the year. 2026 is going pretty good with gaming. Again, I've yet to really hop into the AAA. So we'll have to see when some of these bigger titles come out this year. Is AAA gaming dead, or is indie gaming really where it's at, So lots to think about, man. Appreciate you guys coming in tonight for the episode. Episode number 18 in the books for the podcast. If you guys are new, don't forget to subscribe. We're on live every single week, Thursdays and Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So put that one in your calendar, man, because we're going to be doing that all year long, talking about the latest and greatest in gaming. And appreciate you guys coming out again, man. We're going to have another guest on this coming Thursday, hopefully next Saturday, but definitely this Thursday. Really looking forward to it. We've been having banger guests lately, just lots of hot takes, lots of good comms, good recommendations. I'm really enjoying it. So, looking forward to the next one. Have yourself a great night. Head over and see my other channel. I'll be going live probably in the next 30 minutes or so. And we'll play some cards for a bit, kind of chill out on a Saturday night. And, we'll be back at it here on the side quest in no time at all. So take it easy, guys. See you soon.